everyone, welcome to the session. How are all of you doing? Very good evening, guys. Welcome to the session. I hope all of you are doing well. Yes, today is a very important session. Hello Surujit, hi Pallavi, hello Shubham. Yes, आज plus class भी है. Welcome to the session. Hi Akanksha, hello Bhumi. Yes guys, can you all hear me? Am I visible, audible to all of you? Hello, good evening. Visible guys? Okay, yes. Hello. Hi, Anurag. Welcome to the session. Good to see you. How are you doing? Okay, welcome to the session, everyone. Come on, guys. Let's get started. Okay, so welcome to the session. Today, we're going to discuss a very important area that is called figures of speech. So what are we waiting for? I want all of you to be a part of the group Unacademy_Ritu Dudhoria for your complete preparation of the VARC section. Enroll now, guys. 10 December, 15 December, 15 December. These are the upcoming batches, ongoing and upcoming batches, guys. There are batches for CAT and OMETs 2022. There are batches for different stages of CATs and OMETs 2022. आज guys हमारी भी plus class है on reading comprehension. I want all of you to be present on time because these are very important, guys, कि आप लोग को अपने basics right हो. And basics right तभी होंगे when you start from the beginning of these batches or of the courses. तो बाद में जाके आपको एडवांस लेवल बैचेस मिलते हैं, क्रैश बैचेस मिलते हैं, बट नाउ फॉर कंप्लीट 99 परसेंटाइल लाना है तो एटलीस्ट 1 year you have to dedicate it to the CAT examination, guys. No naman. Okay, hi Urvashi, hello Urmila, welcome to the session. These are the plans, guys, for your plus subscription. Jaldi se dekho. I want all of you to take the subscription. Sorry guys, a little under the weather. Right. So guys, when you take the plus subscription, you get complete access to the entire CAT portal, all the educators, all the batches, all the courses, all the lessons, all the notes, strategy sessions, practice questions, sectionals, mocks, every single thing, every single tool or every single resource that you need in order to crack these examinations, what you get. Guys, when you take the iconic subscription, you get one-on-one doubt solving, concept discussion, and live mentorship. One-on-one with top exam experts. These are the prices of your iconic subscription. Again, all you have to do is use the code RITUMBA. For that, you'll have to take the plus subscription and you will have to join the RC classes. Aaj bhi RC class hai plus ki. Okay, guys, you get extra LMP sessions or live mentorship sessions now. So book your slots soon. Okay, come on, guys. Let's get started. Okay, hello Devanshu, welcome to the session. Okay, come on everyone. Hi Leon, welcome to the session. Today guys, we're going to look at figures of speech which are very important, especially when you look at CAT में भी, SNAP में भी, ZAT में भी, IFT में भी, NMAT में भी, सब में ये बहुत helpful है. Okay, don't worry. Come on guys, let's start with metaphor. Guys, can I say metaphor refers to symbolism? यस, मेटाफर का मतलब क्या है गाइस? आज ही हमने क्वेश्चन किया था, हम लोग प्रीवियस ईयर स्नैप के पेपर्स कर रहे हैं हमारे सेशंस में. You would have seen that there have been a lot of questions on figures of speech. So what is a figure? What is a metaphor? Essentially, metaphor basically means symbolism, guys. So for example, it is a figure of speech. आप इसको symbolism बोल सकते हो, representation बोल सकते हो. For example, if I say that, I'll tell you the difference between metaphor and simile as well. Okay, now guys, if I say John's, let's see this. Okay, let's see it with examples. John's suggestion, okay, was just a band-aid. John's suggestion was just a band-aid for the problem. John's suggestion was just a band-aid for the problem. Can you tell me what do you mean by, what does band-aid represent here? What does band-aid represent here, guys? Okay, then if I say life is a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. Okay, what is the meaning of life is a roller coaster? Hello Shubham ji. Yes, this project is my Mount Everest. If I say this project is my Mount Everest, right? What is the meaning of all of this? So guys, when you say band-aid, can I say it's just a cover-up solution? But it's not a permanent healing wala solution. Nah? It's just a cover-up, like papering wala solution. Life is a roller coaster. That means roller coaster represents or is symbolic of what? A lot of ups and downs. This project is my Mount Everest, matlab choti. Okay, so this is something that I have to conquer. This is something which is really challenging. This is something which is really daunting. It's something which is huge. It's something which is colossal. Hi Aryan. So did you understand, guys? But when you're using metaphor, you do not use like or as. You will not say John's suggestion was like a band-aid. You will not say like a band-aid. You will say it was a band-aid. You will not say this project is like Mount Everest. You will not say life is like a roller coaster. The minute I use like, what does it become? The minute I use like or as to compare, then that becomes a simile. The minute I use like or as in order to compare, then that becomes a simile. So simile is basically using of like and as for the purpose of what? For the purpose of comparison. For the purpose of comparison. Did all of you understand this? The most famous example of a metaphor, guys. How many of you have heard Shakespeare ka the world is a stage? We are all actors with just parts to play. Yes or no? All of you have heard that? Yes? So if I say as cool as a cucumber, as cool as a cucumber, what is that? That is a simile. Okay, as we did this today, right? Remember, as slippery as an eel. Her hair is like silk. Can I say all of this refers to simile, or all of these are simile because we're using like and as for comparison? We are using like and as, guys, for comparison. Yes? Okay, wonderful. Next one. So, if you say I had butterflies in my stomach, this over, okay, guys, ये देखो, compare. इन तीनों को compare करो. I had butterflies in my stomach. It was like having butterflies in my stomach. I was so nervous that I had a butterfly farm in my stomach. Can I say I had butterflies in my stomach? Here, this becomes a metaphor. This is a simile. And it was like I had a butterfly farm in my stomach. Can I say this is an exaggeration or a hyperbole? This is an exaggeration or a hyperbole? Excellent. Very good. Matlab itna, you know, I had an entire butterfly farm in my stomach. So this is an exaggeration or a hyperbole. So let's come to hyperbole. It's also called as admonition. I was so nervous that I had a butterfly farm in my stomach. I've told you a million times. Right. I cannot eat, like for example, if you say, you know, I don't think I can eat for another 100 years. I've walked like thousands of kilometers. You know, all of this is an exaggeration. All of these are hyperbole. So hyperbole is basically exaggeration. The opposite of a hyperbole is called as understatement. To understate is to play down. Okay, now what do you mean by play down? For example, let us say you're traveling from point A, ठीक है, और आपको जाना है point B. Many times, I don't know how many of you have experienced this. Point B होगा मतलब बहुत दूर, but when you ask someone the route, they'll say बस इधर ही. You know, just a 2-minute walk. It's just around the corner. So, but when you say around the corner and you keep turning corners, can I say just saying that around the corner, if it's not really there, can I say that's an understatement? Correct. Pallavi remembers all examples bhi. Wonderful. Correct, Gaurav. So that is basically called as understatement. Next one, irony. What is the meaning of irony? When I say irony, we've all heard of Vyang, right? Irony is basically Vyang. Okay, so basically it, you know, if it's like a joke, it basically is not as expected. Okay, sometimes you use a language, it's basically a literary technique. You use a language that actually you mean the opposite for humorous effect. Okay, for example, if I say a doctor died of a heart attack, a doctor died of a heart attack, or a cardiologist, okay, better is to say cardiologist. Okay, so if I say a cardiologist died of a heart attack, okay, an English teacher failed in, let's say, an English test. Okay, ironically, a man died in his living room. What is the irony here? Died in your living room. Correct? This is, correct. Yes, Shivam, that would be ironical. Okay, it's not something that you would expect, right? Did all of you understand this? That's basically called as irony. Correct. Just 5 minute wait. 1 minute, 1 second phone. Okay, next one, paradox. Guys, paradox basically means contradiction. Okay, its basic matlab of paradox is contradiction. For all purposes, just remember it as a contradictory cause and effect. For example, either a positive cause but a negative effect, or a negative cause and a positive effect. Did you understand this? A positive cause with a negative effect, or a negative cause with a positive effect. For example, okay, can you tell me some examples of paradox? Can you tell me, guys, some examples of paradox? Paradox is basically contradiction. See, there are many famous examples of paradox, guys. If I say walking, sorry, one sec. Waking is dreaming. Can I say this is an example of a paradox? How can you be awake and be dreaming? And how can you be dreaming when you are awake? Can I say this is a paradox? Right? Then if you say that there has been a bumper crop, okay, there's been a bumper harvest, बहुत अच्छा harvest रहा है, yet let's say farmers are committing suicide. Why? There's a positive cause, but why is there a negative effect? Maybe they did not get the prizes. Okay, now for example, the most famous paradox, guys, the liar's paradox. Okay, a liar paradox. The liar's paradox is the liar says, I'm lying. Isn't this a paradox? It's a huge paradox. You wouldn't expect. Okay. So a liar says, I'm a liar. I'm lying. I'll explain, Gaurav. Okay, this is the beginning of the end. Very good, Rajat. Excellent. He studied hard, yet he failed in the exam. Okay, got it, guys? These are all examples of paradox. Now, what is the difference between paradox and irony, guys? Irony is it's more like, you know, it's more to do with societal expectations. Which one, Devanshu? Hello, Diya. Age मतलब? अच्छा आगे चलते हैं. Correct. Okay. So guys, okay, listen. This a doctor died of a heart attack. That's not a paradox. It's not a positive. It's not. It's. I don't know why Pallavi is laughing though. It's not a positive cause with a negative effect. You know. It's just that you wouldn't expect a doctor to die of a heart attack. You wouldn't expect an English teacher to fail in the English exam. You wouldn't expect. You know. This is more to do with expectation. Okay, this is more to do with expectation, right? But here this is not to do with expectation. This is more to do with contradiction. It's like, how can it be that you're awake and you're dreaming? How can you expect a liar to say that I'm lying? Correct. Understood, Shubham. Understood. Okay, did all of you understand this? Hi Marjay. Hi Mrinal. Welcome to the session. So paradox is not to do with expectation. Paradox is contradiction. Matlab, it does not make sense. Did you understand my point? It does not make sense. But there's nothing not making sense over here. Irony, it makes sense. Why can't a doctor die of a heart attack? It's just that you wouldn't expect that to happen. So irony is more to do with expectation, and paradox is more to do with illogicality. Okay, this is more to do with illogicality. Okay, it's more to do with a contradiction. I know both are contradictions, Gaurav, but that's the difference. Irony is more to it's not as expected. Paradox is an illogicality. Now you tell me, Gaurav, a doctor dying of a heart attack, is that illogical? Is that illogical? No, that's not illogical. Okay, got it, guys? Did all of you understand this? Right. Come on, next one. Alliteration. Sister Susie sewing socks for soldiers. Rugged rocks that ragged rogue ran. Now, it can't get easier than this, guys. Can you tell me what is the meaning of alliteration? What does an alliteration do? It is basically the use of the same letter or the same sound at the start or at the beginning of adjacent, either it can be adjacent or closely connected words. Did all of you understand this? Alliteration is basically the use of or the repetition of the same sound or the same letter or the same sound, adjacent words. Okay, adjacent words, a, correct. Adjacent words, just remember kiran. Okay, remember that. So adjacent words or closely connected words. Okay, wonderful. Next one, oxymoron. Oxy, it means intelligent, moron means foolish. So oxymoron is contradictory words used side by side. Contradictory words used side by side. For example, definite possibility, busy and idler, found missing, consistently inconsistent. Okay, got it, guys? कौन सा शुभम? Alliteration. अच्छा वो नहीं, it's okay. Hyperbole bataya, Mrinan. Hyperbole is exaggeration. Like I was so nervous, I had a butterfly farm in my stomach. I've told you a million times. Badha chadha ke exaggeration. Nobody would have literally told a million times, right? It's not literal. It's just an exaggeration. Clear? Oxymoron, two contradictory or opposite words used side by side. Now, next one, guys, metonym or synecdoche. For example, you call someone an Einstein. Can I say an Einstein means someone who's very intelligent? Suits. Can I say suits means, let's say, corporate executives? Can I say boots? Boots would mean or represent soldiers. Pentagon. Okay, when you say Pentagon, it basically represents the CIA. When you say, Arey, you've got a great set of wheels. Can I say wheels here would refer to car? Ha, done, Devanshu. Join our sessions daily, Vasu. Vocabulary and grammar especially. Okay, now guys, can you tell me what is a metonym? It's basically a substitution. It's basically a substitution, okay, of the name of an attribute. Okay, so for example, it just is itna technical meaning mat dekho. It just seems to represent or substitute. Instead of saying the cars, you can say a set of wheels. People will understand that the wheels means the car. Instead of saying, Arey, you know, he's so intelligent, you can say he's an Einstein. Log samajh jayenge kya bol rahe ho, intelligent hai. Right, Arey, you know, he's a Byomkesh Bakshi. Matlab kya huwa? Very intelligent. The suits are in a meeting. The suits means business executives or corporate executives. Right, did all of you understand this? Clear, guys? Synecdoche is slightly different. Okay, synecdoche is slightly different. It's similar, but synecdoche is part represents the whole or whole represents the part. It's slightly different. Okay, like it's related to metonym he, but let's see other examples of a synecdoche. Now, this wheels wala is an example of a synecdoche. It's a metonym and as well as more specifically it's a synecdoche. You're using wheels, which is a part, to represent the whole, that is car. Did you understand the point? Clear? Did you understand the point? For example, if I say a hired hand, that hand, the part actually represents the whole. It represents a workman. So when you say a hired hand, you're not just hiring the hand. It means that you've hired workman. Did you understand this? Clear? Or when I say society, generally it represents high society. So the whole represents a part as well. Okay. Yeah. Vocab se. Clear? Are Shivam, thank you. Okay, let's go to the next one. Tautology, guys, repetition. The filthy place was really dirty. Now, if you've already said filthy place, it means it was dirty. Either you say the place was dirty or you say the place was filthy. So this is basically, again, repetition. You're repeating the same idea. So this is also called as redundancy. Repeating expressions or ideas. Did all of you understand this? Repetition of the expression or the idea. For example, yesterday we did ना, आपको याद होगा snap का question में था ये. Please repeat again. What is redundant here? Again, please repeat is sufficient. Got it? Did all of you understand these pointers? Yes? Okay, next one. Anaphora. Have an example. Look at this, guys. For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. For want of a horse, the rider was lost. For want of a rider, the message was lost. Now, can you tell me what is an anaphora? Looking at this example. What's an anaphora, guys? It's the repetition of words at the beginning of successive sentences or successive clauses. It's the repetition of, you're repeating. It's a repetition of words. Okay, it's a repetition of words at the beginning of successive clauses. Did all of you understand this point? Clear? All of you got this? Tautology means unnecessary ideas. Correct. It means redundancy. Starting with the same words. That's called as an anaphora. Okay, next one. Climax. See guys, climax is basically you build up. Okay, you build up the excitement, you build up the thrill. There are three things that will endure. Faith, trust and love. But the greatest of these is love. So आपका जो main punch आता है, वो last में आता है. आपका जो मेन पॉइंट आता है या जो मेन पंच आता है वो क्लाइमैक्स में आता है, जो मूवीज में भी होता है. You watch a 2.5 hour or earlier 3, even sometimes you watched a 4-hour movie and it's all a build up to the climax, right? क्लाइमैक्स में जाके पता चलता है कि किसने किसको मारा, क्लाइमैक्स में जाके पता चलता है कि क्या हुआ. was it which way is it? कटप्पा ने बाहुबली को क्यों मारा, right? हाँ, so वो अंत में आपको जाके क्लाइमैक्स से तो नेक्स्ट पार्ट में पता चलेगा. So climax is basically a build up. Vocabulary Vasu. You have to go through vocabulary first. Okay. The opposite of this is anti-climax. Anti-climax matlab the climax is okay. Guys, can you tell me? I usually get the same answers for these. Which film or which TV show was a letdown at the end? It basically means you build up, but anti-climax is basically your climax seems very trivial or it seems very ludicrous. या आपको मजा नहीं आता है. It's basically like a letdown. Okay, it's basically like a letdown. It becomes less dramatic. It becomes less important. It's basically a letdown. I get this a lot, Gaurav. So, people, pets, batteries, all are dead. Die and endow a college or a cat. People, pets, batteries, all are dead. It's kind of like a letdown, right? Die and endow a college or a cat. This looks so ridiculous. Did you understand this? It's like an anti-climax. It's like a letdown towards the end. That's called as an anti-climax. Assonance. Smooth move. Please leave. That's the fact, Jack. Now, you understood here which sound is repeated? O. Smooth move. Repetition of O. Please leave. Repetition of E. Look at the pronunciation. That's the fact, Jack. Repetition of A. So it's basically the repetition of vowel sounds. It's the repetition of vowel sounds. Got it? Did all of you understand this? It's basically the repetition of vowel sounds. Consonant sounds होता तो उसको consonants बोलते. Okay, assonance is vowel sounds. Parenthesis. Parenthesis, guys, could be brackets. Sunson, sanson. But you have to use it together, na Shivam. That could be an example of alliteration also. SNS, and it can be example of assonance. Okay, what is parenthesis, guys? Parenthesis basically मतलब या तो आप brackets use कर रहे हो या तो आप commas use कर रहे हो. Okay, for what? It basically gives an interval yes. Okay, it is used for it gives interval, but it could also mean like an added remark. Okay, extra information. Okay, explanation. Okay, explanation. So all of this you basically extra information, explanation, or an added remark is what is used in what is indicated by a parenthesis. Clear? Did all of you understand this? Yes, don't worry. We'll catch up on time. Okay, wonderful. Extra information, explanation, or an added remark. Right, next one. What is pun? Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by the sun of York. So guys, यहाँ पे sun you actually refer to sun. Winter, summer किससे होता है? सूरज वाला ना. But then so it's basically pun मतलब एक word के आप अलग अलग मीनिंग से प्ले कर रहे हो. Okay, so it's basically exploiting all possible or different possible meanings of a word. Okay, it's like a play on words. It's basically a play on words. Did all of you understand this? Clear with this? It's a clever usage or a play on words. एक दो मिक्स क्वेश्चन किसके? गौरव, फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच के आज किए थे ना स्पेशल क्लास में. कल और लेके आऊंगी. अभी मैंने स्लाइड में डाला, इस स्लाइड में डाला नहीं है. कल विल डू पक्का. Okay, analogy. What is analogy, guys? Can I say analogy is a comparison? For the purpose of explanation, comparison is called as an analogy. For example, if I say life is like a box of chocolates. You never know which, like it's a box of assorted chocolates. आपको पता नहीं कब क्या आ जाएगा, कौन सा flavor आ जाएगा. So life is like a box of chocolates. पर metaphor में like नहीं use होगा. You mean simile? Shivam, pan is basically the usage of like double meaning बोल लो या or utilizing all possible meanings of a particular word. See, why do you use analogy? It's basically to make an explanation. ठीक है, जब आप कोई explanation कर रहे हो किसी चीज से compare करके, then it's basically an analogy. Okay, then it's basically an analogy. See, I'll give you an example. ओके तीनों का एग्जाम्पल देखते हैं, ठीक है. इफ आई से फाइंडिंग माई कार कीज, okay, is like finding a needle in a haystack. Okay, this is an analogy. You're equating finding your car keys to finding a needle in a haystack. It basically means that it's very difficult to find. Okay, now if you say my sister is, okay, I will not use the example that was written here. Okay, I'll just say, chalo, wait, this project is Mount Everest, is my Mount Everest. Okay, this is basically an example of a metaphor. If I say my shoes smell like garbage, this is a simile. This is a simile. Did you understand the point, guys? Did you understand the point? So the difference is, this is more elaborate. This is more elaborate. An analogy is more elaborate. That's the first difference. It can use, now analogy में आप या तो इसमें analogy में ही simile use हुआ गया. Did you understand this? Clear? They have employed simile here. I agree, but this is more elaborate in nature. Got it? ये simile भी हो सकता है. Correct. ये simile भी है क्योंकि like use हुआ है. But it's also an analogy. तो analogy में दोनों techniques use होते हैं. Similes भी use हो सकते हैं, metaphors भी use हो सकते हैं. I'm not saying कि they are two exclusive things. No. हाँ, yes, Shubham. We'll just wind up in 2 more minutes. So यहाँ पे analogy में simile technique ही use हुआ है. तो आपको options दोनों नहीं आएगा. Analogy और simile दोनों नहीं आएगा. Got it? Did you understand this? तो अगर जो ज्यादा इलैबोरेट लग रहा है तो एनालॉजी पे जाना शाम्बी. अगर जो इलैबोरेट लग रहा है तो एनालॉजी पे जाना. ये जैसे इलैबोरेट नहीं है पर ये जो है ये इलैबोरेट है, तो यहाँ पे आप एनालॉजी पे क्लिक करना. देन यू गो फॉर एनालॉजी. क्लियर? डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस पॉइंट? यस. Euphemism is very important, guys. Euphemism basically means using a milder word for a harsher, as a substitution for a harsher word. Okay, for example, to say someone is specially challenged. Okay, someone is, or you can say someone is special, someone is special. Instead of using words like, other, calling someone crippled or whatever, no. We should call the person as specially, someone is special or specially challenged. Calling someone as thin, let's say slim, instead of calling someone skinny. Right, calling someone God gifted. Correct. So it's basically the use of a milder word or instead of a harsher word. Correct. Excellent. Next one. This is very important, guys. A Lord of the Rings actually debatable here, but the animal farm is basically an allegory. What is the meaning of it, guys? Can you tell me what does it mean? It basically means a story or a poem or a picture that you can interpret, that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning. To reveal a hidden meaning. Okay, matlab isme you're trying to convey something or someone else. You're trying to talk about someone else. Like lots of times, you would have heard your friend tell you a story कि मेरी friend के साथ ऐसे ऐसे हुआ. And then you think, are you sure you're talking about your friend? Don't you, I think you may be referring to your own life. So, or if Animal Farm was basically the hidden meaning or the hidden allusion was towards the Russian Revolution. Got it? Clear, guys? So Animal Farm jo hai, it was on the face of it, it's a story about an animal farm where there are pigs and all of that. Very helpful, Neha. But actually it was hidden jo tha, wo political jo tha, actually it was an entire scene jo create kiya tha, वो रशियन रेवोल्यूशन का था. करेक्ट, जॉर्ज ऑरवेल वाला. Very good. Next one. Personification, guys. Treating something which is not a person as a person. Snap में example आया था ना. For example, Death lays his icy hands. Remember, we discussed this today. हाँ, of course, Siddharth. Very important. Snap पे तो आता ही है figures of speech. Death lays his icy hands. You're giving death hands. You're treating death as a person. That's an example of personification. Clear? Did all of you understand this? Next one. Epanalepsis, guys. Blood had bought blood. Power confronted power. Strength matched with strength. Can you tell me what does it mean? Easy. Example say easy. तो जो initial part है उसको आप same को end में repeat कर रहे हो. It's basically the repetition of the initial word or phrase at the end of the sentence. Got it? But mythology में it was man. Mythology में it is man. Correct, Devanshu. Bharat Mata, correct. Example of personification. First and the last word. An eye for an eye. Very good. An eye for an eye. Wonderful. Next one. Done, guys? Did all of you understand these? Any doubts with these figures of speech? Clear? Wonderful. Great, guys. So tomorrow we'll practice this. Okay, I want to make sure that all of you are there in the special class tomorrow. Guys, tomorrow special class. Shall we? Antithesis. Okay, good. Let's look at the example. Let's look at what is antithesis. Okay. Yes, Gaurav. Taking it up with example. Okay, first break it down. Okay, anti means opposite or against. Thesis means thesis means a theory, right? So when you have two strongly contrasting ideas, for example, the most famous antithesis is man proposes, God disposes. Okay, so man proposes and God disposes. These are two contrasting or juxtaposed ideas. Did you understand this? For example, if I say that is one small step. That is one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind. One giant leap for mankind. So what is the antithesis here? Small step and giant leap. These are two contrasting ideas which are placed side by side. Got it? Okay, come on guys. I'll see you in the special class tomorrow at 8 p.m. Do apply the code Ritu MBA. Special classes are free, live classes. Take from anywhere, anytime with polls. So do join in, guys. Download the app and use the code Ritu MBA. Like, share and subscribe. Okay, and don't forget to apply the code Ritu MBA in order to get 10% off. Guys, कल 12 बजे Snap का mock है. 60 minutes, 60 questions, verbal abilities section set by me. I want all of you to give the mock tomorrow at 12 noon. Okay, 12 बजे Snap का mock है. 60 minutes, 60 questions. Right? Combat hai, and don't forget to apply the code Ritu MBA in order to take tomorrow's Snap Combat. See you all in the plus class, guys. Thank you everyone. Take care. Bye bye. Bye guys.